About at 5:30. Told you about a family who could not carry out their mom's dying wish to be buried next to her husband. They say the owner of the Oakland Cemetery in Cranston wasn't returning their calls, leaving them no choice but to bury her somewhere else. And tonight, more complaints. Other families call 12 for action after they say that same cemetery has been an eyesore for years. Now, problem solver Susan Hogan is getting results. She joins us now with what she's learned.
We heard from several families who say this cemetery has been a dumping ground for years and the owner has never returned their calls. So we had to see it for ourselves. A cemetery is supposed to be a peaceful resting place for loved ones, but at Oakland Cemetery in Cranston, it's become a resting place for trash, and lots of it.
It's just disgusting.
Nicole McGee and her sister are beside themselves. They want so badly to visit their great-grandmother's grave, but when they do, they're heartbroken.
You come here, you pick the cemetery. It used to be one of the nicest cemeteries, and now it's just unkept.
When we were there, we found grass and weeds so high it covers many of the graves. Piles of trash just feet away from grave sites. And instead of coming here to grieve, families come here to weed, a job they feel isn't theirs.
You can't want to come and be able to actually have some peace with your relatives, and you can't even do that. You get distracted by the mess around it.
The sisters say they have contacted the city since the owner of the cemetery never called them back. After getting nowhere with either, they called 12 for action.
Don't want the story to be heard. It's not fair.
After numerous messages left for Russell Dodd, the owner, he showed up at the cemetery to answer our questions. However, he refused to show his face on camera. How often do you get out here to mow the lawn, to trim the lawn?
Every day.
You're out here every day? There's grass growing up and over all of the tombstones here. Do you have any pride for this property?
I'm done.
But the city isn't done. Even though Oakland Cemetery is privately owned by Dodd, they agreed it's time the city got involved.
I've spoken to a couple of the neighbors. We're going to get together at City Hall. We're going to figure out a plan to see if we can do scheduled maintenance. We'll support them in the city as much as we can with the bags, maybe the highway crew pick up the trucks, whatever we can do to help.
Now, the owner tells me that he has simply run out of money and does what he can to maintain the cemetery. He puts a lot of the blame actually on the families who come there to grieve, saying they're the ones leaving a lot of the trash behind. Regardless, the city says it will also work on trying to secure the cemetery to keep the vandals out. I'm Susan Hogan, Eyewitness News.